This is Eric from Postcard Reflections, and today we're going to go over the postcards that sold between December 7th and December 13th. Let's head over to eBay and take a look. First off, not a postcard, but 1977 top Star Wars Luke Skywalker #1, PSA 3, sold for $110. I bought this a couple years ago, and I probably paid 25 bucks for it. In the last 6 months or so, the prices on these Luke Skywalker's #1 seem to have really gone up. On to the postcards. Block Island, Rhode Island, Smiling Through, Charles H. Overley, which is the artist. This sold on an offer of $5.95. It's a standard size, unused. It does have a pinhole in it. Richland, Washington, the Federal Building, Hanford Atomic Works. This sold for $3 on an offer. Standard size, unused. Next, Mannington, West Virginia, Public School Building, circa 1907. Sold on an offer of $11.90. Standard size, used on the back. I think this was the highest selling postcard of the week for me. Kamakura, Japan, the Great Buddha, sold for $5.50. Continental size, unused. Desert Sweethearts, a linen postcard of a couple donkeys or burros, sold for $3.95. Unused, like it has a little paper loss on it. Grand Hotel, Mackinac Island, Michigan, scenic view, sold for $3.36 on an offer. Continental size, unused. Albanian national flag, double-headed eagle emblem, sold on an offer of $3.50. Continental size, it's unused. Postcard Child Squirrel, Where the Nuts Have Gone, circa 1911. I'm not sure if the boy is asking the squirrel or the squirrel is asking the boy. Used on the back, standard size. Ashtabula County, Ohio, Creek Road Covered Bridge, sold for full asking $3.95, standard size, unused. Devereaux Hall Dormitory, St. Bonaventure College, this sold for $3.95, it's standard size. This one, the buyer lives out in New York, and they're buying it to send to somebody on the West Coast, and hopefully it gets to them so they can get it to them by Christmas. Galena, Illinois, Chestnut Mountain Resort, sold for $3.36 on an offer. It's a standard size postcard, unused. Carlsbad, New Mexico, continental size, Main Street view, sold on an offer of $5.95, unused. Camp Polk, Louisiana, U.S. Army Southern Bell Telephone and Telegraph Company, sold on an offer of $8.50, standard size. And there's the Southern Bell Telephone and Telegraph Company. Lyon, France, Terrace Square in the Palace of Arts, sold for $3.36 on an offer, unused on the back. A church in Hawaii, this sold for $7. Continental size, used on the back. Okay, these next 6 were bought by the same buyer, and they all have to do with Seven Oaks over in England. Okay, this is Upper High Street. This sold for $336 on an offer. These are all standard size. Seven Oaks Kent Lady Betty's Bedroom National Trust property sold for $395. Seven Oaks Cartoon Gallery National Trust $395 also. Knoll Park in Seven Oaks $395. Another Knoll Park. This one sold for $550. And this one sold for $550 also. Aloha from the Beauties of the Islands, Hawaii Hula Girl. This sold for $2.95 on an offer. Used on the back. A Red Squirrel of Pinecone. Sold for $316. Used on the back. A Dutch Treat Restaurant in New Hampshire. Sold for full asking of $750, unused, standard size. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. This sold for $250. This is my lowest one of the week, and it's also had free shipping, so I really made less than $1 on this postcard, which I was kind of curious what the fees and everything, what I would be receiving. So it was a nice experiment, but try not to do it too often. Beach in Hawaii from the Royal Lahani Motel. Sheraton Maui is in the background or the distance. This sold for $395, standard size, unused. Noble County, Ohio, Cane Archer Covered Bridge, sold for $395 also. It's also a standard size, unused. And lastly, Greetings from Maine, state map, used on the back. And this is also a standard size postcard. Well, that does it for this week. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.